Once upon a time, a traveler named Viador needed to cross a great, flat plain. The land was wide and dusty, with not a single tree to provide a spot of shade. Viador went to the village edge and met Milo, a driver who owned a sturdy donkey named Dusty. Viador shook Milo's hand and paid him 3 gold coins to take him and his bags across the heat. The journey began early in the morning. Milo led the way, holding a long rope attached to Dusty's harness. Dusty walked with a slow, rhythmic pace, his hooves clicking against the dry earth. The sun began to rise higher and higher, turning the sky into a bright, glowing bowl of blue. By noon, the sun was a golden fire in the sky. There was no breeze to cool them down. Viador wiped the sweat from his brow and looked around. "It is so hot," he sighed. Dusty hung his head low, his long ears drooping in the heat. They were in the very middle of the treeless plain, where the heat felt like a heavy blanket. Suddenly, Milo called for a stop. "Dusty needs a moment to breathe," he said. As the donkey stood still, Viador noticed a small, dark patch on the ground. It was Dusty's shadow. Without a word, Viador sat down right in the middle of that cool, dark spot. "Ah," Viador whispered. "Finally, a bit of relief." Milo looked down and frowned. He was just as hot as Viador, and he wanted that shadow for himself. "Stand up, Viador," Milo barked. "That shadow belongs to me. I am the driver, and I need to rest in the shade of my own donkey." Viador shook his head. "I hired this donkey for the whole day," he argued. "Since I hired the donkey, everything that comes with the donkey belongs to me, including his shadow." He crossed his arms tightly and refused to budge from the cool patch of earth. "You hired the donkey to carry your bags, not to give you a sun tent," Milo shouted. He reached down and grabbed Viador's shoulder, trying to pull him out of the shade. Viador grabbed Milo's tunic, and soon the 2 men were tugging and pushing, their faces turning even redder than the sun. Dusty watched the 2 men. He listened to their shouting and felt them bumping against his sides. He flicked his ears back and forth. The men were so busy fighting over a tiny patch of shade that they had completely forgotten about the donkey who was making it. Dusty had a very simple idea. If the men wanted to fight over his shadow, they could do it without him. With a loud hee-haw, the donkey gave a sudden kick and bolted away. He ran across the plain as fast as his legs could carry him, the bags on his back jingling as he went. The fighting stopped instantly. Milo and Viador stood in the middle of the empty plain, blinking in the blinding light. There was no donkey, no bags, and most importantly, no shadow. By quarreling over a small thing, they had lost the very thing they needed most. They were left with nothing but the sun and a very long walk home.